Hello YouTube, it's Carlos the Rook, and I'm bringing you round one in Chess Zone Summer Day Classic. This was a different format than what Chess Zone usually does. They had 90-minute rounds with 10 second increments. Excuse me. And I really love this time control. I get in time trouble anything like 60 minutes or something like that, or 30 and 45 minutes. So I like the more time. So 90 minutes works really well for me. So in this tournament, I'm rated 1658. I didn't gain any rating from the last tournament. And in the first round, I get matched up with Yug Shaw, who's rated 1401. So I start off e4. He responds e5, knight f3, knight c6, and you know it. My favorite opening, Ruy Lopez. Here we go. a6 hitting the bishop. Bishop drops back to a4. b5 hitting the bishop again. b3, bishop to b3 is a must, and now he has knight f6 threatening this pawn here. And so I thought castle right away. If he knight hits, then I'll put the rook on that file and hit the knight back. Uh, the engine wants d4 just right away. Just d4, busting open the position. Don't care if black tries to take this pawn. It just wants you to push. Castle is the second best move. So I castle, bishop c5. And here, I know c3 is a thing. C3 with the idea of d4. So it's this line. But what I was concerned with was this line, knight takes here. d4. The bishop drops to e7. It has to, or you'll lose this knight. And now Starfish is saying a4. This is crazy. Bishop b7. Queen e2 hitting the knight. d5 protecting the knight. A captures b5. A captures b5. Rook captures a8. Queen captures a8. This is the line Stockfish wants to go in. And they got white with a slight advantage. But hold on, let's go back. Bishop e7, because you got to protect this square. Can white take this knight? Knight captures e5, knight captures e5, d captures e5. And the threat is bishop d5, so you gotta go bishop b7 to stop that. So it's not a bad line. I could have went into this line. Yeah, I absolutely could have went into this line. But because I wasn't sure about it, because I had a game online where the person took this pawn on e5 and I end up down a pawn in that variation. I just didn't play it correctly. So I did the center pawn trick. I captured here. Knight captures e5. Knight captures back. And then it's d4. Bishop takes. The queen takes. Now I gotta do is watch out for c5 and c4, where I'll lose the bishop. That's a counter trick that black has in these positions. He goes knight c6, hitting the queen. And here I fade back queen e3. I want to protect this pawn. It's saying queen c3 would have been better. Just blocking this. That just didn't seem right. Queen c3. But that's what the engine wants. He castles. And here I go c3. Because I want to restrict the movement of the knight. And then I want to develop my bishop. Then my knight. And then bring the rooks to the d and e file. That was my idea. So the rook comes over here. I go f3, protecting that pawn. Now I don't have to worry about that. He still has a pin here, d5. I think is a solid idea here. He goes d6. And here I go queen f2, and my idea is just to get out of the line of sight of this rook here. Then bishop g5, knight d2, rook d1. Those are all ideas developing my army. And he goes knight e5. He wants to go c5 and just start developing his pieces. I go bishop g5, pinning the knight. He go h6, asking the question of the bishop. And here I wasn't sure, do I drop back to h4 or e3? e3 was way better because that way I keep the bishop pair. I drop back to bishop h4 and now I lose the bishop. He go knight g6. I take, queen takes. And here I go bishop d5. I made a huge mistake. I decided I want to go pawn hunting before I finish developing. All I had to go is knight d2 and rook d1. Then I can start going. The bishop d5 hits the rook. The rook has to come to a8. Queen goes to a7, hitting the rook. Now you need the bishop to go somewhere. It can't go here or you lose the bishop. So the bishop goes to e6. Bishop takes, rook takes or pawn takes. This pawn falls, and black position becomes vulnerable. The only problem with that, I got two pieces over here that hasn't moved yet that needs to be developed. And you got a queen and a knight over here. It's going to leave the king by itself with just a rook to protect him. So I figured I can do all this and get back before anything ominous happened. So let's see what happened. The rook goes to b8. Queen a7, hitting the rook and this pawn. Bishop e6. I know this knight is going to come to f4. Queen g5, threatening to mate here. And I don't want bishop h3 being an idea. So I trade the bishops. He takes back with the e-pawn. And I take on c7. The engine didn't like that. It wanted g3 here. Or queen e3. They don't even want me to take the pawn. They want me to get up out of there and come back. Engine wants queen e3. So I take the pawn, knight f4, and I'm seeing queen g5, threaten this. If the rook comes up, then it's knight to g3, check. Win an exchange. I see that. So I have to protect this square. I want to be able to drop my queen back to g3 in order to protect my g2 square. So I go queen captures d6, and that move is just losing. The engine wanted me to go queen a7 so I can drop back this way and get on this diagonal. And here he plays knight e2, which just gives up the advantage. That's the wrong idea. It wants king h1 here. I didn't think king h1 worked. I was thinking king h1. Queen h4. With the idea of knight g3 check, picking up the rook, but this queen protects against that. The knight can't come to g3, and Stockfish just says knight a3, develop your knight. And the knight can come here and then here. It's saying just develop your knight and you're good. That's crazy. Just develop the knight. This knight can't come here checking you, and you don't have to worry about your pawn being pinned because the queen is right here on the square. And if they hit with a rook, the queen just goes to e5 and you gravy. But in my head, I didn't even see the queen still being on this diagonal to protect that. I just seen that and I panicked. And I played king f2 instead. And because I'm up 2 pawns, I'm still trying to play for a win. So I don't want to get a drawn position. So he plays rook e d8, hitting my queen. I go queen to c7, just trying to stay on this diagonal. The rook go to c8. And here I go to b6, switching over to this diagonal. And now he goes knight f4. And I see that knight d3 is coming. Where it's forking the king and it's hitting the b2 pawn. So I'm going to lose a pawn. And instead of losing a pawn, I need to play here, just saying go king g1. I was actually thinking between g3, knight d3 check, king steps over. Oh, it's saying b4. Knight catches b2 is what I was thinking. Knight catches b2. And this knight is doing the job of not letting this rook in to check the king. Djokovic wants a3 here with the idea of maybe bringing the rook up this way to protect. Knight c4, hitting the queen. Ooh. Queen f2, only move, protecting this. Rook d3. King g1? King g1. Oh, king g1 because this knight is going to fork. You hear? Knight is going to fork. So you got to be king g1 to get away from the fork. Now wants rook to e8. Fluctuating between e8, f8, and b8. I'm not even sure what rook e8 does. Rook a2, and I got defense. Now it wants d8 to stop the knight from developing. That's the idea. But white position is cramped, and it's completely losing just because I went pawn grabbing. But so that was a bad idea. What the engine wants here is king g1, queen g6, g3, rook d3. Just ignore it. Oh, because you can't take. a4, knight h3 check, king g2, knight g5, knight a3, rook f8, piling up the pressure, knight c2, rook captures f3, rook captures f3, queen captures e4. Ooh, that's just nasty. That's nasty. Knight d4. Rook captures d4. Then you gotta give up the queen. That's just nasty. That's nasty. So I didn't play either of them lines, but all lines are losing in this position. I played b4 instead, thinking I could hold on to the pawn, and that was just a disaster. Queen h4 check, g3, queen takes, and here I actually seen this line, king g1, hold on, it was king g1, was it knight e2 check? Yeah, knight e2 check. You gotta go over. King has to come over. Knight here check. You can't take because you pinned. King comes back this way. Knight takes this. If king go here, check. King here, mate. So I seen that pattern there. That was a what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A mating 5 that he hit. So I figured G3 was also losing, but it was better than getting the mate in 5 that I seen. So he played queen captures H2 check. I go king E3, queen E2 check. Beautiful move. I take the knight. Queen captures F1. Queen captures E6 check. King H8. I go king G4, stepping out of checks on this dark diagonal here. Rook F8. F4. Stop him from getting the F3 pawn. Rook on C E8. Queen D5. Rook D8. Queen E6. He goes rook D1, and it's just over. Queen B3. Queen E2. Because I was trying to protect this knight here. That's why I dropped back queen B3. King H3. And rook H1 is mate. So this is a good gameplay by Shah. And it just shows you why the opening chess principles are opening chess principles for a reason. Develop your pieces first. Don't go pawn grabbing.